Hey guys, today we're going to be learning the keycard principle. The keycard principle is something that sounds quite complicated at first, but it's actually very simple. It looks something like this, so we can take any card in the pack, let's say the Four of Spades, and without the magician actually knowing what card was chosen, the Four of Spades can be lost into the centre of the deck, and the deck can be cut by the spectator however many times they wish. And then, after dealing through the cards like this, I can tell you that this card here is actually the Four of Spades, using the keycard principle. So what it is actually a way of keeping track of a selected card even after a spectator has cut the deck as many times as they like. So that's what it looks like. Let's get into it. Okay, so all you need to do this is you have to know what the bottom card of the pack is. So in this case it's the Jack of Spades. We're going to remember the Jack of Spades. That's all you have to do. It's really easy. So once you've got a card selected, the Four of Spades, what you're going to do, you have to remember the card and you're going to cut the pack to the table as they're doing so. Once you've done this, you get them to place the selected card onto the pack you've cut onto the table. And then you place all the cards in your hand on top. And what you'll notice what you're doing is placing the bottom card which you've memorised on top of the selection. So when you put this packet on top, the selection is beneath the bottom card. So we actually know where the selection is. And a little subtlety you can add when you put these cards on top is you can dribble the cards on top, because it looks more, looks like you've lost the card more if you understand what I'm trying to say. This looks messier, so they'll think the card is really lost. But if you were to just kind of place these cards on top like that, it doesn't look as lost. So once you've placed these cards on top, you now know that the selection is underneath the Jack of Spades, or the card that you've memorised. So what this allows you to do, if you were to spread the deck out, we can see the Jack of Spades is right here. So we know the card that's underneath the Jack of Spades, the Four of Spades, is their selected card. Okay, something to remember when you're doing this is that after you've put the selected card back into the pack and it's underneath the card that you've remembered, is that when you tell the spectator to cut the cards, it's very important they only cut the cards like this. They only give the deck full cuts, one after the other. Because if you think about it, what these kind of cuts do is they don't alter the order of the pack at all. All they do is they alter the position of the cards in the pack. So, for example, if I take a look at the pack right now, the Jack of Spades and the Four of Spades are next to each other, like we want them to be. And even after I cut the cards, if we take a look, and we find the Jack of Spades and the Four of Spades, they're still together. So cutting the cards doesn't actually alter the order of the deck at all. But if they were to cut the cards like this, so if they were to kind of really mix up the pack like that, there's a small chance that the Jack of Spades and Four of Spades might be separated, and then you wouldn't know which card the selection was, so you wouldn't be able to do the effect at all. So when they cut the cards, you need to really tell them that they can only do this. So I would demonstrate what you want them to do before you do it. Okay, so something else to mention is that make sure the spectator doesn't shuffle the cards at all. Do an overhand shuffle, riffle shuffle, a faro shuffle if they can do that, though I don't suppose many spectators would be doing faro shuffles. Make sure they don't shuffle the cards at all, because if we take a look now, you can see the Four of Spades and the Jack of Spades are very far apart, so you wouldn't be able to do the effect at all if that was to happen. They were to shuffle the cards or do anything other than do straight cuts like that. So that's just a tip for the keycard principle. Okay, so we'll just go through all that again. You need to know the bottom card and then you have a card selected. You then place a packet down onto the table and have them place their selection on top of that packet, and then you dribble all the cards on top of the selection. So now the selection is beneath the card that you've remembered. You can now deal the cards down to the table like so, or spread them out like this, and then you can, just by looking for that card that you've remembered, you know that the card beneath that is the selection without ever seeing the selection or being shown it. And that's a really amazing effect if you do this convincingly and correctly. Okay, so some ideas about how to use the keycard principle in tricks. Once you've remembered the bottom card and you have the card selected and cut into the pack, you could deal down to that the key card like this. And once you get to the key card, what you can then do is deal down the next card, which is the selection, and out jog it slightly, but not too much, and then deal slightly off that off the selection, so you can still see the face of the selection, and you deal about 4 cards past it, and then you say to the spectator, I bet you the next card I turn over will be your card. And what they then do is they'll probably say yeah, they'll bet you, and then what you do, they expect you to turn this card over, but of course what you actually do is reach in and take that card and turn it over. So that's just a little fun trick you can do with friends. Other ideas would be you could spread the cards out, and then once you know where the selection is, you can kind of do some kind of mind reading effect to see where the card is. I don't know. You can make up whatever you want. You can really have fun with this move. It's really easy and simple, and surprisingly not many people will work out how you're doing it. Okay guys, that's going to be it for this tutorial. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like, favourite, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you later.